We're back here at the 43rd District. We're joined by Allie Denton, the outstanding coach of the Lafayette Lady Generals, as they take on Lexington Catholic here. Coach, it's always, 43rd District Tournament basketball. I've done a number of these, and you've been involved with as a player and now as a coach. It's really a great feel coming into the 43rd, isn't it?
It is. This morning I woke up with a different feeling when I went to school. It's always exciting, and I love being a part of this tournament.
Your ball club, 20 wins this year, another 20-win season. What is it about the stability and the consistency for Lafayette girls basketball? I know it starts at the top, and that's a compliment to you.
Well, I think what we do as coaches is we coach every one of our players. When they come up as 7th and 8th graders, they're all treated exactly the same, coached exactly the same is what I meant to say. And we're not just developing the great players, we're developing everybody that walks into our program. And fortunately, they've all bought on into it, and they've become great ball players.
And really the story of a good team is how do you perform without your so-called superstar? Mm-hmm. Well, Kiara Pankins is that girl, mm-hmm. all-state player, 2,000 points scored, 1,000 rebounds. She's out. She's got a concussion protocol. She will not play tonight. But you've had other girls like we were talking off air, DeBilson, Bennett, Abram, and now you mentioned also Gar Carter starting to step up for you.
Well, I challenged them when Kiara got her concussion against Woodford County that the 5 that were on the floor at that next game were our team for next year.
Right.
And I said, so here's a great opportunity to see what you're going to do. And every one of them has stepped up to the challenge and have played with a lot of confidence. And I think it's helped these other girls not rely so much on Kiara and realize that they can do things too.
Your opponent tonight, Lexington Catholic, the thing that gets your attention right off the bat as a player or coach is it's on their floor.
It is on their floor. And we talk all year, this is the 3rd season that we've got right now. And I said, it doesn't matter what happens in the regular season. Right. I've been a player where teams have overlooked us and we've won. I've been a coach where teams have overlooked us and we've won. And I've also been on their side where, as a player, I've overlooked people and they've surprised us. So we treat everyone with respect that we play with at this part of the year. Mm-hmm. We don't even address the fact that we beat this team twice already. It's not even mentioned.
Right. Coach Denton, your keys for Lafayette to get the win, advance on to Friday night, because that's so important. That puts you in the 11th region tournament once again.
Yes, sir. Well, we have to handle the press with whoever presses us, and if we can do that, we'll be successful. We try to keep our turnovers. We always put 10 on the board. That is our goal, under 10, and we've got to rebound on both ends of the floor. We can't out-jump a lot of people, so we're going to have to block out first and then rebound. If we can do that, we can compete with a lot of people.
Always great to talk to you. Good luck tonight on the 43rd against Catholic.
Thank you so much.
That's Allie Denton, the outstanding coach of Lafayette as they battle Lexington Catholic. We'll come back. We'll grab Scott True, the head coach of Lexington Catholic, get his thoughts as the pregame continues here on PrepSpin.com.
At White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics, we believe that greatness is in the details. Each decision we make is for the benefit of our patients and our community. This means using industry-leading technology to help you achieve your goals and uncover your perfect smile. Our precision and efficiency results in an experience that is both pleasurable and affordable. White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics, applying precision and elegance to your smile.
Back here at the 43rd, we're joined now by Scott True of Lexington Catholic. We talked to Allie Denton. And Coach, she said what she tells her ball club is, we didn't even talk about those other 2 games with Lexington Catholic. We're talking about the now. We're talking about, okay, we're without Kiara Pankins. She's not playing. She said, we've been going on without her for quite some time now.
Well, and we're in a similar boat. Now, not maybe quite the same level, but we don't have Maya Jasinski tonight. It's about 12 rebounds a game for us. So
one of the leading rebounders in the state.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we've got to deal with, and it's about this game. It's not about the last 2, and we know that. So we got to come out tonight and get a good start, and then see what happens in the 4th quarter.
I know when you play a team like Lafayette, they're a 20-game winner. You've kind of been up and down a little bit this season, but come up with the games. I'm sure you've got a few monkey wrenches you'll throw in there tonight.
Well, we're going to try. We've obviously got to change some things from the last time. Yeah. The big things for us will be the turnovers and shooting percentage. Right. We've got to cut our turnovers down, which gives us more possessions, and then shoot a little better than we have. They have a lot to do with that, but hopefully we can turn those 2 stats around tonight if we're going to have a chance.
Kiara been out with the Pankins with the concussion protocol. What does that do schematically for their offense? I mean, mean, she's such a great rebounder and scorer for them.
Well, she's so hard to get off the glass.
Yeah.
I mean, if she doesn't beat you, she'll get the rebound and beat you.
Yeah.
And honestly, it probably makes them a little quicker because they've inserted a guard in the line with what they've been doing.
Right.
So they really have 4 guards on the floor with Goff at the post position. So they're very difficult to guard. But as I said last night with you on PrepSpin, I think they're the second or third most physically talented team in the region. It's a very tough matchup for us quickness-wise, and that doesn't help any.
Right. Well, Coach, you and I talked also last night on PrepSpin. You do have some nice scores, particularly it starts with Ballard. I mean, she can really put the ball in the basket.
She can, and we got to have her play big tonight. She's just a sophomore. Everybody else on the team is really in a new role this year, having to do new things. A little worried about the nerves early. Melo Givens, our next leading scorer, but last year she played 8 minutes in the district game. So we're really young, but we got to have some girls step up and step into bigger roles tonight.
Coach, as you head to the chalkboard back there and you talk to your ball club, what were the instructions as you head out there and take on Lafayette in the 43rd district?
Now, stick to the game plan. Stay relaxed. Don't let them speed you up. We got sped up last time, and we kick it around a little bit when we get sped up. So we just got to stay composed and then give ourselves a chance come the fourth quarter.
Always great to talk to you, Coach Drew. Thanks for your time, and good luck tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Scott Drew, the outstanding coach of Lexington Catholic, will come back with the starting lineups. And with William Moorfield producing, Darren Douglas on color. Later tonight, what a boys game. It will be the LCA Eagles taking on Dunbar, the defending state champs. That's one of the best battles we'll see in the state of Kentucky. When we return on PrepSpin with the starting lineups.
My tax refund usually helps me out, but this year it was much lower than what it was supposed to be. This isn't enough to get me caught up. What am I supposed to do?
Is this happening to you? We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
Bankruptcy could be your best solution.
We're here to give you a fresh financial start.
Say no to debt. Get your bankruptcy started for as little as $78 today. The consultation is free in Lexington and now in London.
All S, all P, all O, R-T, S Sports. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter. Locally owned and operated since 1972.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and PrepSpin.
All S, all P.
Gary Ball, Darren Douglas, William Moorfield. We're back at the 43rd. It's a raucous 43rd district tonight. You hear the bands. They're all fired up tonight. We're fired up. You heard from both coaches, Allie Denton, Scott True of Lexington Catholic, and with Darren Douglas. He'll be your color analyst tonight. William Moorfield producing along with Jack Haynes. Second game tonight, Darren, that should be a dandy. Dunbar boys, defending state champs against Lexington Christian with one of their best teams in a long time, 21-8.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time, I think, since this area has really had a game of this magnitude in the district play this early. It's usually been in the district championship games where both teams have already punched their ticket to the 11th region tournament. But, hey, we've seen already a couple of surprising efforts from underdogs in games, and there could be one here tonight in this girls' game.
Yeah, Lexington Catholic, they're going to throw out some wrinkles. There's no doubt about it. You don't have Kiara Pankin. She's still out with concussion protocol, the all-state forward for Lafayette with those 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds, one of the top girl players to ever come through Lexington, Kentucky, and the state of Kentucky for that matter. So Coach True's got some wrinkles. Here's my thoughts. You're going to slow it down. You're going to make it like a hockey game if you can. Keep that score low because that's really the best shot you've got, because even though Kiara Pankins is not playing Darren Douglas, they still got some fine basketball players over at Lafayette High School.
They do, and the thing is, what you're going to see, I think Catholic's going to try to slow the tempo down. They're going to go deep into the game clock. Of course, there's no shot clock in high school basketball, but they're going to get as much out as they can out of their half-court offense. They're not going to run. They may take a chance if there is an availability of a run out.
Right.
They may, but I don't think you'll see Catholic try to fast break at all tonight unless it is that lone contested run out. And you're going to see Lafayette do something they haven't done in a while under Allison Denton, as they are going to try to push the tempo. and I'm not, they don't necessarily do it on defense necessarily. They do it more with their offense, but they will push it, I think, tonight with their defense, and they'll do it by extending that 2-3 zone.
Well, one young lady that can score the basketball is Jay Ballard. She is a 5'3" sophomore for Lexington Catholic and Scott True. She averages over 15 points a game, Darren, and 5 rebounds. But I tell you what, they got some other girls that can score too. I look for Melo Given to have a real big game tonight. She's a sophomore as well. Good on the board. She gets about 6 rebounds a game, and she's really been scoring of late too for Catholic. I think, like you said, I think other girls are going to step up tonight. I think this will be a much better game than people think it will be.
Well, there are 2 things I think Catholic needs to do tonight. Number one is they cannot turn the basketball over and lead directly to Lafayette points. If they do that and do it, say, 15 to 20 times tonight, they're in for a long, long night. The second thing is they have to shoot the basketball very well, both from 2-point range and from 3-point range.
And Greg Martin doing the public address announcing again tonight is the band off to our right. I think that is the Lafayette band up here. And they're, of course, one of the best bands in the state of Kentucky. And it's going to be loud in here tonight, folks, with all these bands. We got 2 bands in there already, and Dunbar, Lexington Christian aren't even here yet. We're just about set for the national anthem and the public address announcer here, who is Greg Martin here at Lexington Catholic. We do not have Mr. Martin mic'd up tonight, Darren, so we will give the starting lineups as he gives them from the public address announcer. Greg Martin, a graduate here of Lexington Catholic, been doing the PA for a long time over here.
Well, I'll tell you how long he's been doing it. I was in high school playing in the old Catholic gymnasium for Woodford County, and he was doing it then.
How old is this beautiful gym?
It's
about
20, 15
years old?
maybe.
Yeah, because I played in the old gym too. We played Lexington Catholic every year. I was at Boone County. Came down and played them my sophomore year. They came up to our place with Danny Haney their senior year, and we actually beat them by 10, and they were ranked in the top 10 in the state. We upset them.
There are 3 memories I have in that gymnasium. One was when I was just a young student watching Danny Haney get butt heads with a Woodford County player and come back out and with a bandage around his head play the second half. He had 35 points. That's one.
Olivia Haynes, a junior, averaging nearly 5 points a game. And Olivia will start at a guard, and at a forward will be Katie Witt. Katie is a 5'7" sophomore, averaging 5 points. Ashley Freebus, a 5'6" junior, averaging 5 points, 5 rebounds. And Jay Ballard, their big gun, averaging 15 points, 5 rebounds. And the final starter will be the young lady that I already talked to Darren about, Melo Given, a 5'7" sophomore, averaging 8 points, nearly 6 rebounds. Those are your starters for Lexington Catholic, and even though they're playing at the 43rd at their house, they're the visitors and the blue on the scoreboard tonight. So home team will be the Lafayette Generals, and Greg Martin just about set to announce their starting lineup. And it'll be Lindy DeBilson. So DeBilson wearing number 3 tonight. And Caroline Bennett, a 5'9" junior, averaging 12 points. And it will be Macy Goff, a 5'10" sophomore at a forward. And another starter will be Takia Carter, a 5'8 junior, averaging 6 points, 5 rebounds. And the final starter for Coach Allie Denton will be Terry Abram, a 5'5 junior, averaging 7 points. So those are your starters for both ball clubs. For Lexington Catholic, it'll be Ballard, Given, Haynes, Freebus, and Witt. Jumping up for Lexington Catholic will be Katie Witt, the sophomore, and she will go up against Gar Carter. Lafayette in the white with the red, Lexington Catholic in the blue with the white. We're just about set for basketball, Darren Douglas. This should be a pretty good one.
Should be, and again, we'll look for tempo on both sides.
And the tap is knocked out of bounds. Looked like Catholic knocked it down, and they did. They're going to give the ball to Lafayette. So Lafayette will start to the ball, and Bennett will trigger it inbound, and looks like she's going to give it to Abram to start the game. Abram will very slowly look over toward
box and one here.
Yep. They're going to pack it in, aren't they, Darren, as they
box
say.
and one with Haynes chasing Bennett.
The big scorer with 12 points a game. Kiara Pankins, the All-Stater, is out with a concussion protocol. She's been out for several games now.
Yeah,
that happened at Woodford County. You were down at that game, you said.
An unfortunate circumstance. Both two players going for the ball, both got off balance, and unfortunately, Kiara's head went straight back and hit the floor.
The Bilson shot won't go, skips off the rim, and Haynes had it there for a moment, but as she went down to the floor, Darren, she traveled, turned it back over to Lafayette.
Yeah, she kind of was trying to keep the ball away from Lafayette and moved her backside, which was established as her pivot.
15-footer out front won't go for Gar Carter, and here come the Lexington Catholic Lady Knights, and that's Ballard with it. Ballard will be the big score tonight. If Catholic goes, it will be because Ballard is knocking shots down.
Well, it's a 2-3 zone, and see Lafayette's guards extending out towards the timeline to try to speed Catholic up a little bit.
Playing catch, Freebus and Given. Given's got it now. She's trying to look to Ballard, gives it to her. She's trying to go one-on-one, stops from 15 feet, back of the rim, no, and tapped around, and coming out there with it is Lafayette. That's DeBilzan. DeBilzan's got it. Down low, ball tipped, and backside help, and it's going to be grabbed there by Witt. Katie Witt tracked that one down, Darren. No score yet, and we've played almost a minute and a half.
Well, something our viewers out there, Gary, might want to pay attention to next time Lafayette has the ball. If they're patient, they'll get shots that they are able to knock down. Just got to be patient.
Great pass, but they missed the layup. Second attempt, it won't go there either for Catholic's Given, and here comes Lafayette with it. Abrams got it. Boy, a good look there by Catholic. Just couldn't get that easy layup to go.
Yeah,
she tried to use the left hand.
Haynes with a nice look.
To Bilson. Touch pass and to Goff, and we're going to have a foul called as she made a nice no-look pass, a touch pass to Goff there with 6:11 to go here in the first period. No score.
Yeah, the foul was on Given, and two things happened. One, Given down low, I think she was expecting contact on the offensive end, didn't get it either time. And then this time here, one thing you're taught as a defensive player, keep your hands straight up, but a tempting thing to do as a young player, come down.
Yep.
And that's what Given did just then.
That's exactly right. Goff knocked down the first free throw. First point of the game for Lafayette and the sophomore Macy Goff. She got both of them. 2-0. Lafayette Lady Generals on top here at the 43rd. Winner moves on to Friday night for the district championship, Darren. They will take on the winner of tomorrow night, which will be Tage Creek and Dunbar girls.
1-2-2 zone there, but a three-quarter court pressure, and it was nothing to get a steal or anything, just to make Catholic speed up.
Here's a steal. They were trying to go to Haynes, and it's intercepted by Gar Carter, and she lays it up and in. That was just too easy for Gar Carter.
Yeah.
She stepped in the passing lane there, trying to go to Olivia Haynes, and Gar Carter wasn't about to let that happen. 4-0. Lafayette has scored here early, 5:38 to go in the first period. They lead 4-0. Given plays catch with Witt. Freebus has it now. Freebus back now to Katie Witt.
Well, they are in the scramble mode out of this 2-3 zone right now with the guards for Lafayette.
Give it to Ashley Freebus. She's looking for her teammate there. She finally gets it to Given. There's Ballard. She's the scorer. Ballard going to the basket. Stops, throws it up. No. And a foul called there, and it's going to go against Lafayette, and it's going to go on Goff. That'll be her first. That'll be 2 free throws coming now for Jay Ballard. Ballard, a 49% field goal shooter. She's also nearly 40% from three-point.
And Goff did exactly what Given did on this end down here for Catholic. Had good defensive position. Just keep your hands straight up And your coach is not going to be mad if you get called for a foul with your hand straight up. It's when you bring the hand down.
And now Lexington Catholic girls are off the snide in the 43rd to get their first point at the line from Ballard. 4-1. Ballard knocks them both down. She's a really good free throw shooter at nearly 80%. 4-2.
I tell you, now they look like they've gone to a 2-3 matchup zone this time for Catholic.
Right side to Bills and open, and that's off the iron, and nice rebound there by Witt. And she's going to be fouled. Remember, we'll look at the stats. We'll look at the glass work by Catholic in this game because they're without Jadzewski, who's one of the leading rebounders in the state with 12 rebounds a game. She tore her ACL.
Yeah, and of course Pankins is out for Lafayette. I think she's averaging about 10.5 a game.
Right.
So two of the better rebounders, not only in the 11th region, but in the state of Kentucky. Both are out due to injury.
They go in the middle as they give it up to Given. Now they go to Haynes. Haynes hands it back to her teammate there, Given, and obviously they want the ball in the hands of Ballard. She's got the only 2 points for the Lady Knights from the line. 4-2. Good pass down low, and they miss it again. They had a good look by Given. She couldn't get the layup to go. That would have tied it up.
Well, it's a matchup 2-3 zone from Lafayette along the baseline with the 3 baseline players. If you'll watch next time down, Gary, you'll get a good look at it.
Right side, Caroline Bennett lines it up, knocks it down. Bennett with the 3.
She doesn't need a lot of space there to let it fly. It was a Catholic defender flying at her. Didn't have a really great look at it, but knocked it down.
Given got it from Ballard, and she goes to Haynes. She's open from 3, off the iron, no. And are they going to call a foul on the backside? I didn't see a lot of contact there by Whipper. They're going to call her for that foul anyway, it looks like.
I think she had the right hand in the small of the back of Bennett, and then as the ball hit the rim, she just gave her a little nudge.
So that goes on Witt, her first, team second.
Now, I'm not telling guys, I'm going to tell you a little secret, Gary, and I know you and I were undersized when we played.
We were?
Yeah. If you're blocking somebody, you step on their foot. That way they couldn't jump.
Yeah, I know.
And 2, when they go to jump, you just kind of throw your hip in, keep your both hands up. You generally will not get called for a pushing foul.
Lob down low, nice
catch.
Yeah, knocked away, but picked up right side. Bennett fires. Good. Bennett hasn't missed. She's 2 for 2, knocked down a 3. That was a 2-pointer, and it's 9-2. Lafayette on top here at the 43rd, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Bad pass. Haynes tries to save it, does. Olivia to the basket, throws it up off balance, no. And coming out there with it is Gar Carter. And she does the European step, and they don't call it. She lays it up and in. I thought that was a travel.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, they teach you to step up close as you look there. Close might have gotten the benefit of the doubt, but it's going to be a full timeout, Gary.
We'll be back here on PrepSpin 11-2, Lafayette on top. While we were away, Gar Carter laid another one in off of a deflection. She has 6 points now. And still, Darren Douglas, Lexington Catholic girls without a field goal. Their only 2 points have come from Ballard at the line.
Yeah, now it's a 2-2-1 press, and they're matching up out of it. And watch Gar Carter. She is following whoever is in the middle for that zone press offense for Catholic.
And that number 14 right there, that's Farrah Weldon. She just checked in for the Lexington Catholic Lady Knights. 13-2 now, 2:34 to go in the first period, and Lexington Catholic having trouble even getting into the half-court offense right now.
Well, it's a 2-3 zone, and you watch the guards. Abram and guard Carter, they are really pressuring the guards for Catholic.
Witt throws that one away, trying to go to Given. And Ballard is in there. You got to get the ball in her hands. She's probably the best ball handler, the best shooter on the team. And she's attempted, one field goal? And that was early in the game when she tried the one from the free throw line, right?
Yeah, and you look at these two teams, they have one senior combined between the two of them.
Abram hands it to guard Carter. They come around to Lindy DeBilson. Back now to
to the diamond or the box and one now.
Yep. Back out it goes to Abram.
Good
over
skip
now
pass.
to Bilson, wide open from three. Back of the rim, no. Nice rebound by Olivia Haynes. Of course, the younger sister of Jack Haynes, who works with us here on PrepSpin.
When we get back to the Catholic defensive end, Gary, I'm going to point out what Haynes is doing besides doing chasing.
Witt over to Olivia Haynes. Cut off. Gives it back now to Ballard. There's Ballard, right elbow. Swing it back. They go down low to Witt. Witt looking. She's got an open player. Cutting to the basket. Up and in, and she will get the soup and the Rafferty sandwich.
That was a nice backdoor cut
Weldon.
from Weldon, and a nice look from Witt on the bounce pass. Watch this. Guard comes over.
Great pass.
Weldon sees it, goes back door. And it isn't funny how in today's game still the old-fashioned backdoor play
You know who threw that pass better than anybody, and you know I'm going to say Larry Bird.
Yep.
Man, he could really find a guy cutting to the basket.
He could. Magic Johnson was there.
Magic
actually pretty
was
good
up in
at
that,
it. But
yep.
Boy, but Bird was just he was a magician with the basketball
It's
in
like
his
he
hands.
had eyes in the back of his head, literally.
He practiced stuff like that. You know that?
Weldon can't get a go. Knocked to the floor, no call. She tried to go get that miss. And there was some contact there.
Oh, man, tough
lob
pass.
down low as they lob it over to Caroline Bennett. Bennett hasn't missed. She knocked down the three there, and she down low to Bills, and she traveled, and the official right there on top of it to call it. 13-4 is your score. Minute 19 here in the first period of the 43rd. What a boys game coming up at 8 o'clock. Dunbar defending state champs against Lexington Christian. Both those teams have been ranked as high as number 10 in the state this year. Dunbar's been as high as number 3.
Man, that was a good look from Bennett down low to DeBills and
Freebus. And she throws it up right now. I like what Coach True has done, Darren Douglas. He has made his girls push it to the basket and draw some contact. They're going to the line. We saw it on the backside, too, to Weldon when she had the open layup, Darren. And he's telling his girls, take it to the basket, draw the foul.
That was the second on golf for Lafayette. So it gets guard Carter back in for her. But Catholic doing a decent job right now in the half court. The problem is, though, the tempo is in Lafayette's favor. They're getting up and down a little bit faster. I think that Coach Scott True really wants to play this game at.
Freebus couldn't get either one to go. Coach True upset with that. He thought that was going to roll in. It looked like it was going to roll in, but it hit a lot of the iron, but it was not kind, was it, Darren?
Nope. Good blackout by the younger Pankins, Elise Pankins, 11 in white.
Abram over to guard Carter. Skips it back over to Bills and bounce down low as they try to go to Elise Pankins. You're right, the 8th grader. To the basket is Abram. Shot won't go and pulled out of there by Ballard. We're going to have a foul called. And I tell you what, Lexington Catholic can possibly get back in this game. That's the 5th team foul now already against Lafayette. So another foul, couple more fouls, they'll be in the bonus situation.
That's one on Abram right now for Lafayette, number 5 on the team. I've missed a couple of fouls there.
Yeah, they called one on Gar Carter. You had that one.
Yeah.
So 13-4. And that is Weldon.
Now it looks like Lafayette's in straight man-to-man this time.
Ballard going baseline, dumps it back to her teammate Given. That shot won't go out front there by Weldon.
That was a nice look by Given, but you catch the ball 8 feet from the basket and you turn and you see nobody there, go ahead and shoot it. I like the unselfishness, don't get me wrong, but if you're that close to the basket and you got that wide open look, go ahead and shoot it.
Abram over to Gar Carter. Skips it over to DeBilson. DeBilson. Left side, left elbow, backs it back out of there. 4 seconds. Down low, Bennett. Bennett throws it up, and it won't go front of the iron, but a whistle on the floor. Then I don't think they're going to give her 2 free throws.
No,
they're going to
not.
say that Caroline was fouled before the shot. She got 1.1 second. There's a good look at Caroline Bennett, the junior.
Katie Nash is chasing her now, and they get it. Oh, man. Wow.
There's a shot by Pankins as the horn sounds. And so Pankins will get a couple of free throws here.
And I believe that's on Given. If that's on Given, that's number 2 on Malo Given, I believe.
That's exactly right. They called that on Given.
You know, the thing is, that ball came in from the baseline, on the baseline underneath, straight into the paint right at the basket. And if you're zoning, that should never happen.
You know, that's a tough free throw right there because nobody's at the line.
And everybody's watching.
Everybody's watching. Everybody's on the bench.
Including you, G-Man.
Boy, she looks a lot like her sister.
She
Kiera,
does.
Doesn't she? Favors her a lot.
You know what, though? And no disrespect to Kiera, because Kiera's a wonderful athlete. Elise might be a better athlete.
That's what they're saying.
Just maybe.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter, and Lafayette takes a 10-point lead into the second quarter, 14-4 behind Gar Carter with 6 and Bennett with 5. We'll return here on PrepSpin.com.
In Fayette Mall and allsportslex.com, locally owned and operated since 1972.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
Great look at Allie Denton as she's working it. That's your cousin over there, Darren Douglas.
Well,
your cousin, Allie. You're related to everybody. You're related to Doug Flynn.
Don't hold that against me. I've kind of got, I've got the family ties to the Lafayette General Bench, and I have a old college buddy of mine, Scott True, as the Catholic coach. So I've got allegiances to both sides today.
Witt trying to go down low, tapped around, and coming out of there with it is Bennett. Caroline, boy, she had a good first quarter. Knocked down that three. Then the
I think
other
she's got 7, doesn't she?
Here's DeBilson, right side, and shot put up and in by Gar Carter, who has 8. Bennett's got 5. Carter's got 8. Goff has a couple of free throws. Elise Pankins 1 free throw. They got to get Ballard going here. She just hadn't had enough looks for me, Darren Douglas, as far as Ballard, averaging nearly 16 points. 7:27 in the first half. And there's going to be a travel call on Farrah Weldon.
That's tough on an 8th grader to come in and play against this kind of pressure that Lafayette's going to run at them right now to try to speed them up.
And Weldon goes to the bench, and back in is Olivia Haynes. A little bit more experience there. Olivia, a junior.
Straight 2-3 zone this time, Gary.
Down low, tapped away. Good defense by Ballard. Ballard came Darren from the backside, tapped that one away to a teammate. Here come the Lady Knights.
That's a tough pass, going immediately straight into try to go to the teeth of the zone on the pass.
Haynes faking with the ball. Gives it back now to Freebus. Freebus looking for some help. She gives it out to Katie Witt. Witt hands it now to Ballard, trying to get her some looks. Ballard kicks it over in the corner to Nash, Katie Nash. Witt scissors in between 2 defenders. Bounces to Olivia Haynes, back to Witt.
Haynes trying to post up down in there? Is that what that's?
Haynes, 5'2". Haynes in trouble. Bounces to Ballard. Ballard, and that's going to be a reaching foul called, and may go on Bennett.
That's number 1, I think, on Bennett there. You don't want to reach. If you got a player trapped in the corner and there's nowhere for him to go, you just keep your hands moving, mirror them.
They called it on Pankins. Pick your poison there. Could have called on Pankins, could have called it on Bennett. They called it on Pankins. That's their first, team 6. Next foul by Lafayette in the corner to the basket. Witt, and powers it up, rolls off. Witt trying to get a hand on it. Coming out of there with it is Lindy DeBilson. DeBilson on the dribble. Sophomore.
Nice post up.
Down low to Pankins. Back out to Abram. Launches Snow. Rebounded backside Gar Carter. Hands to DeBilson. Here's a 3. That's off the rim and a whistle and a foul called on the floor.
Yeah, he pointed like it was going to go against Lafayette, but he meant it was here. And it was on Ballard for Catholic.
Called that on Ballard, her first. That's only the 5th team foul against Lex Cath. Lafayette's committed 6. So the next foul Lafayette will put Lex Cath in the bonus, Darren.
Yeah, Ballard and Pankins had a real good battle going on down there, and Ballard got caught for the shove at the end there.
Skip it over to Bennett. She moves in on Ballard. that's a good matchup. DeBilson, pair of threes working on each end. DeBilson might have got away with a travel as she threw it up and in, but a foul is called.
Now,
I know I'm tough on these young ladies when it comes to the travel call, but you gotta.
It's in the rule book.
It's in the rule book.
That's right.
You can't go 2 steps. It's not the NBA.
Well, you kind of jokingly looked at me like I was crazy when I said Haynes trying to post up. I cover a young man over at Georgetown College, Darian Burns. They list him at 5'10". He goes in routinely and posts up 6'7", 6'8" guys.
Fleming County kid, right?
Yes, sir. He's got
Probably surprised I knew that.
Got an unbelievable vertical too.
Abram.
Oh, nice
Throws
take.
it up and in.
Nice take. Right between 2 defenders and really squared her shoulders up right to the rim. That's why she was able to get the shot.
Well, this pressure by Lafayette giving Catholic all kinds of problems, to say the least. Nash to Freebus. Freebus to Ballard. She's got Haynes wide open. Haynes with the left hand. Missed it again. They have missed about 4 layups. There's Haynes again and tapped up by Lafayette. Here come the Lady Generals. Long pass down court to a running Abram. She lays it up and in. She's fouled. They'll count the basket.
And the foul was on Ballard, so that's number 2 on Ballard. So a couple of the big girls. Watch her finish with the left hand. That's the offhand. Now, for all you young players out there, if you want the and one and hear Gary Ball on the broadcast say the soup and the sandwich, that's how you do it. If she goes with the right hand, she doesn't get that chance.
Believe it or not, they actually called that on Witt. That's her second.
Wow.
Yeah, they did not call that on
I thought it was on
Ballard.
21, yeah.
They called it on Witt. And there's a rebound. That's going to be over the back there. And so this will be bonus. That's on Gar Carter. That's her second. Both teams now in the bonus with 5:08 to go. This is the way if you're Lexington Catholic, get back in the game, stop that clock, make some free throws, and you can get back in it even though you're down 20-4 to this good line. I think Lafayette may be one of the best teams in the state that's not highly regarded, highly ranked, kind of under the radar.
After what they lost a year ago.
Yeah.
And then the year before that. That's a lot of talent to lose in the last 2 years. And like I said, these 2 teams combined, Gary, has 1 senior.
Yep.
That's Kiara Pankins for Lafayette.
Lafayette, a 20-win season with all that loss that you talked about.
This region for the next couple of years is going to be nasty, ugly for the girls. And when I say nasty, ugly, I mean it's going to be very competitive. LCA is going to be good. Catholic's going to be Lafayette. Woodford County is going to be good.
Witt got 1 of 2 to cut it to 20-5, and then here comes the Lafayette Lady Generals. Abrams stops and back of the rim, no. Backside just checking in there is Grants. Ryle Grants, the 8th grader for Lafayette. She got in under the radar on us. Here's Gar Carter over to Grants, and that won't bank in. Might have been over the back there by Pankins, no call, but Freebus comes out of there with it anyway. Ashley Freebus.
Well, she was on the side, I believe, of who was it? That was Ballard that was blocking her out. She was reaching with the right hand, which is what you need to do, and get a foul on.
Yeah, they're going to say Witt on the sideline there. Tightrope in the out of bounds was pushed by Grants, and that's going to be the first on Ryle Grants, the 8th grader.
Well, and here's the thing, as I mentioned down here on this side, Pankins, if she goes with the left hand, now that's over the back. But she was on the side of the Catholic player and was reaching with the right hand, so she wasn't making contact with the player. So that's why there was no foul call on the over the back. And, Gary, that rebounding is – I've been told 3 things. 1, it's desire.
Yep.
You got to want the ball. Every ball that goes up missed, that's your rebound.
Well, Bill Russell, one of the best rebounders ever, he said he always knew where the ball was going better than anybody, the basketball. Yeah. That's why he got so many rebounds.
Well, Larry Bird said, the first guy in the gym to know if a shot's off and where it's going is the guy who shot it.
The shooter.
That's why he got so many rebounds, too.
Witt knocking down both free throws, making it 20-7. Catholic kind of whittling away at that Lafayette lead.
Now they're chasing.
That's going to be over the back call on Freebus.
They're chasing Bennett again with now Ballard over here. And I don't know if our fans caught it at the bottom part of the picture, Gary, but what Ballard was doing there, she's face guarding Bennett. She has no responsibilities with the other 4 players on the floor. And I know this because as a coach, I used to coach this, but when I played, I was usually the person that chased the best offensive player on the other floor when we played this defense. And my coach always used to say, hey, if he goes to the concession stand and give him a hot dog, you put mustard on it and pay for it.
So that's what they're doing. 1 of 2, 21-7. Lafayette on top. Gary Ball, Darren Douglas, William Warfield, and Jack Haynes producing here. It takes a village.
Now they've gone back to the 2-3 zone, and they're matching up out of it, and the guard's out really high for Lafayette right now.
And Lafayette doing a tremendous job on the leading scorer, Ballard. She's got 2 points, but no field goals at all in the first half with 3:52 to play. Freebus looking for Ballard. Ballard underneath, kicks it back out to Witt. Witt hands it back to Freebus. Ashley pounds it down, working on Grant. Now cut off there by DeBilzan and Bennett.
Ball movement and player movement is going to be vital for Catholic right now. And
Witt can't get rid of the pass, tapped away by Grants. Grants gets the steal,
nice
leads it out to her Gar. Carter lays it up and in. The basket will count for Gar Carter. Listen to this game for her already. That's 11 points already for Gar Carter, who's only averaging 8 on the season.
Well, her athletic ability right now is shining here. Watch this. I mean, Haynes got caught in between a rock and a hard place. She said, should I let her go or should I foul her? Well, she did both. And the thing is, if you're going to foul, you only get 5 of them. You don't play it dirty, but make sure that player cannot get the ball up above their waist. If they get them up above the waist, they're usually going to score and get the and one.
Olivia picked up her second foul, Haynes. And
there's about 3 players right now for Catholic with a couple of fouls each.
You're right. Given does, Haynes, and I've got Witt with 2 as well. 23-7. Ballard. Like I said, they need to get her up, get her some open looks. Haynes gives it to her left side. She had an open look there, but didn't take it. And she throws it right away to Caroline Bennett. Bennett, a bust out. Great hustle from behind by Olivia Haynes. And, boy, that gets a nice applause from the Catholic bench. A great hustle there by number 3, Olivia Haynes. Watch that great hustle.
Yeah, if she doesn't come back now. Bennett was trying to time her steps to get the layup on the left side. And you can tell Bennett's a right-handed player. But it's a 30-second timeout, Gary. You want to keep it right here, I guess?
Keep it here, and I want to tell the folks about Rafferty's Restaurants, Rafferty's throughout the state of Kentucky. Rafferty's where the special is you, Rafferty's, and of course we'll be over there Saturday for a big 11th region preview show. We'll highlight all the girls games and boys games with some coaches over at 5 o'clock over at Rafferty's this coming Saturday. The draw is Saturday morning, so we'll know all the matchups when we do that show at 5 o'clock from Rafferty's.
We'll know the matchups, we'll know the teams, we'll know the times that those games are taking place.
Right.
And we're having it at 5 o'clock at Rafferty's. Why? So we don't interrupt the UK.
Which they're playing Florida at 2 o'clock.
That'll probably be for the conference championship, too, by the way.
I would say. Kentucky's starting to play better, Darren, our beloved
defensively,
Wildcats.
they are really starting to put the screws to some people, and be interesting to see what they do tonight against Missouri.
Well, I like this Abram girl, and of course Gar Carter really scoring well. She's got it. But Abram and Gar Carter make a lot happen for Allie Denton, don't they?
Well, Abram played a lot last year, and the year before got some really good duty as well. What Pankins is. The younger Pankins is really active.
Yeah,
man.
Took the word right out of my mouth. Very active out there, getting her hands on everything.
Yeah, and and this is her time to shine. She's probably going. Hey, little sis or big sis is hurt. I got to step up a little bit. So and she's playing with effort.
UK Sports Medicine halftime show. Darren, I'll get you guys the stats, and you and Jack Haynes will break down the first half statistically for us. 23-7, the big statistic is only 7 points by Catholic, 23 by Lafayette.
Well, Lafayette's really doing a nice job in this 2-3 of communicating, talking. Ballard, I thought it was given, passed up an open look.
They got Ballard at the post. Now she comes out and gets the ball.
Well, she's at the high post there trying to work, but Lafayette's doing is matching up out of this 2-3. They normally play just a regular 2-3.
There are 3. She rattles it in. That's what they got to do. They got to get her some looks. She can knock it down. She shoots nearly 40% from behind the arc. She's got 5 of the 10 points, but they got to get her more looks, don't they, Darren?
They do, but that was scouting right there. Abram forgot who had the ball, took a half step back, and it cost her.
Down low it goes, and ball is tapped around there by Pank, and she's on the floor. Coach True saying, that's going to be LexCap basketball. Coach True was right on top of that to help him with the call, and that was great hustle there. Pankins actually was not allowed to go touch that ball after she threw it, so that should have been their possession anyway.
Well, she tried to tap it, which was okay.
Yeah.
If she'd gone and grabbed it, then it would have been a travel on Lafayette. But the young lady shows her basketball IQ there by knowing I can't grab it. I got to at least touch it and tap it to a teammate.
Weldon had a shot she made on that back door and a great pass. And that Ballard 3 was the second field goal. Down low, wide open, right side, laid up and in. Here come the Lady Knights. Little mini run here. They've cut it to 23-12 with 1:10 in the first half.
Now they're going back to that straight 2-3 zone and looking for Bennett. If you're Catholic, you better find where white number 5 is, right at the high post now.
Yeah, they get it to Caroline Bennett. Over it comes now to Abram. Lines it up. Back good. Box out over the back. Good box out there On the inside position by Melo Given. Boy, she did a nice job there and making sure she had inside position. She'll go to the line. You know, if you're Lexington Catholic, you're thinking, wow, we've been dominated, but you knock down some free throws here, you could get it down to single digits.
Yeah, you can get it down to
halftime.
9 if you knock these two down. Now, if you're Lafayette, you got to think, hey, can't let this team hang around.
Right.
Because if I let them hang around, what happened last night can happen again.
Yep. Where we saw Miss Wynn bank in a 30-foot three-pointer.
I thought she shot it way too soon.
I did too. Free throw knocked down there by Given. 3 points for Given. Let's look at the games. Let's do a reset here and give you the game's top scorers. Gar Carter leads everybody for Lafayette. I've got her with 11. Bennett has 5. She hit those early in the ball game. She knocked down that 3, came right back with a field goal. She's got 5. And Ballard with 5 for Catholic. And knocking that free throw down, to, as Darren Douglas said, to cut it to single digits is Lexington Catholic. And that's Given with 4 now. And it's 23-14.
Man-to-man this trip down for Catholic.
That rolls off. Rebounded by Witt on that shot there by
Gar Carter.
Yeah, it was Gar Carter again. Boy, she's been so good with that basketball. There's Ballard. Well, if they can knock down a 3 here, this could get real interesting.
Now think about this, how tough this is for this Catholic team to play. They've changed defenses about every trip down. They played 2-3.
Yep.
They played box and 1, and they've been man.
Nash hands it off to Witt. Katie Nash getting her. That's got to be Cotton Nash's granddaughter, because I know you had the Nashes playing football here, and they were grandsons to Cotton Nash.
That's a good bet.
Got to be some relation.
It's a good bet
Yeah,
there.
it's a good bet. Ballard open, kicks it over to Witt. She throws it, and it's stolen away there by Gar Carter of Lafayette. 4 seconds, Carter looking up, strong to the basket, runs into a Catholic player, ball on the floor, throws it up from the floor.
Heady play.
And it almost went in.
Heady play from Gar Carter.
Yep. She almost threw that one in from the floor. Knees
Heady
on the floor.
play. I mean, you don't find too many ball players at the pro level that can even be thinking that quick to throw it up on the glass.
23-14 here at halftime. Lafayette on top by Lexington Catholic by 9. We'll come back there, and Douglas Jack Haynes will break down the first half for you here on PrepSpin. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Dunbar boys will battle Lexington Christian at 8 o'clock here on PrepSpin, the White Greer Maggard game of the week.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
There are 50 Whitaker Bank locations serving Kentucky communities just like mine.
61 Whitaker Bank ATMs throughout Kentucky make getting quick access to cash easy.
Whitaker Bank staff serves the needs of nearly 70,000 Kentucky customers every day.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
In the
I think
other
she's got
field.
7, doesn't she?
Here's DeBilson, right side, and shot put up and in by Gar Carter.
Unbelievable vertical, too.
Abram.
Oh, nice
Throws
take.
it up and in.
Nice take.
Lady Generals. Long pass down court to a running Abram. She lays it up and in. She's fouled up. Grants gets a steal.
Nice
leads it out to her guard. Carter lays it up and in. The basket will Bennett. Bennett a bust out. Great hustle from behind by Olivia Haynes. And boy, that gets a nice applause.
It's matching up out of this 2-3. They normally play just a regular 2-3.
There, 3, she rattles it in. That's what they got. And that Ballard 3 was the second field goal. Down low, wide open, right side, laid up and in. Here come the Lady Knights.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lexington Catholic. We are live here at the 43rd District. Lafayette and Lexington Catholic battling it out. We are at halftime right now. Lafayette Lady Generals are leading 23-14 at half. And Darren, what are your thoughts on that first half?
Well, there's a couple of things that I always look at as soon as I get the stat sheets in any broadcast. Number one is the rebounding. Right now, Catholic out-rebounding Lafayette 15-11. That's a stat that should be in favor of Lafayette because they do have somewhat of a height advantage, even with Kiera Pankins out for this ball game due to concussion-like protocol. But the other thing I look at is turnovers. 11 turnovers for Catholic in the first half, and it really didn't affect them that much because the points off turnovers were 12-2 in favor of Lafayette, and Lafayette had a couple more chances to get more points off turnovers. They didn't. They should be a bigger margin in that. And then the third thing I look at is free throw shooting. Who's getting to the line more? Catholic's gotten there more. They are 7 of 11, and Lafayette's 4 of 8. They've made 3 more free throws. That's why they're still in this ball game, the rebounding and the free throw shooting.
Yeah, and what Lexington Catholic wanted to do in this one was slow down the tempo and limit the turnovers. And in the second quarter, they were kind of able to do that. The first quarter was a completely different story, and if they could have put up similar numbers like they did in that second quarter, we could be seeing a 1-point ball game right now.
Well, really, I think Coach True would be happier if it was even slower. Kind of muddy it up, make it an ugly game if you want. I mean, I hate that term, but that's what he's looking for. He's looking as ugly as he can and give his ball club a chance in the fourth quarter. That's where you want to be, especially with 4 minutes to go in the game. If you're down, say 6 or 7 points with 4 minutes to go in the game, you're right where you want to be if you're Lexington Catholic. You cannot allow a run from Lafayette, especially coming out in the game. Now, they did a better job on Bennett. When they came out the first couple of trips down, they were in a box and one, and Haynes was chasing Bennett, and that was all she was doing. That's all she was responsible for. I tried to point it out a couple times, and the possession ended quicker than I wanted to, where I could point it out to our viewers out there, Jack, that all Haynes, and then when Nash came in, she was responsible, and then they had Given as well a couple of trips down in the box and one chasing Bennett, and all they're doing is face guarding her. They have no other responsibility. They're going wherever Bennett goes. If Bennett goes to the bench, they're handing her a towel. If she's going to the water fountain, they're turning the water on for her. That's all they got responsibility for. The other 4 girls are responsible for the other 4 on the floor, and then you basically in zone tendencies, you got to find that player to box them out. They've done a pretty good job of doing that in the first half. And then on top of that, Catholic changing defenses about every trip down. That is so hard to do. Do you know how hard that is to get kids to do that? And a team this young as Catholic is, it's real tough to do that every trip down. Sometimes there was a couple trips down that they changed it in the middle of the possession. So, I give Coach True and his staff a really good credit for getting his team ready to do that, and the girls for being able to figure it out on the fly. Now, the second thing is they got to make shots. They got to the free throw line in the first half. I don't know if that trend can continue in the second half, but they've got to make some shots from the field.
Yeah, Lexington Catholic is 7 of 11 from the free throw line, and a couple of those they need to knock down. Yeah. And right now, they're doing what they need to do to get back in the game, like you said, and they really need to slow it down. One thing I noticed from watching, where they did a lot better job of doing that in the second quarter, was they need to run their plays on offense, because sometimes they get down there and they're so concerned about slowing it down, they don't actually run a play, and that ends in a turnover.
Well, player and ball movement on offense. I mean, I had a coach one time tell me, Jack, and it sounds so trite and sounds, everybody will look at me like I've lost my mind when I say this, but the basketball is round. It has air in it. It will come back up to you, so you know where it's going to be at all times. You've got to move without the ball. They did a couple times. Weldon did a nice job of moving without the basketball and got a layup. They got a couple of looks down low where they just short-armed some layups that they missed right underneath the basket. So they've done a real good job of doing that. But at the same token, when the players are moving, the ball's got to be moving. You don't want to get it stuck in one guy's hands. And back in the old days, we had coaches and broadcasters like ourselves that used to call it the black hole. The ball would go in there and never come back out. You got to move the basketball and move the team. Lafayette has to do it against the changing defenses of Catholic, too. They'll get shots. I think, in their half-court offense if they do that against Catholic's changing defenses.
Yeah, so what do the Lady Generals have to do to get Bennett more shots? Because she only has 2 from the field right now, and she's 2 for 2.
Well, they may have to set some screens for her off the ball. Okay, if you set screen now, or maybe let her run the point and set on ball screens for her and let her come off and either get it into the paint and make the open 15-foot jump shot or get it all the way to the rim or create a shot for somebody else. Or you can put her on the baseline and run her off a couple of staggered screens. That will get her more shots because she doesn't need a whole lot of space to get her shot off. She has a very quick release, one of the quickest releases I've seen from a girl's standpoint in this game of basketball than I've ever seen.
Yeah, and if they want to get her more shots, and if Lexington Catholic's still going to be doing that box and one, they're going to have to set hard screens on Haynes to get Bennett loose to get those open shots.
Yeah, and that's the key, though, because Bennett's got to move without the basketball, too. Even if she's off the ball, if she's not running the point, she's got to move without the ball. Now, Catholic on their end, again, they're playing that 2-3 matchup zone, and really, at times in that first half, Lafayette was making it almost into a scramble-type man-to-man look, even though they were matching up. So Catholic's got to settle down, relax. They'll be fine. They're right where they want to be, only down 9 here at halftime. And just move the ball, player movement, be patient. I think they'll get shots that they want as well.
Yeah, about a little over 1 minute left till we get back to the second half action. I think one more thing for Lexington Catholic is they got to get Jay Ballard more three-point shots.
Well, she's not looked at the basket. She had an open look and really passed one up right there towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, I got Lexington Catholic battling their way back into it, only down 9. We're about a minute away left to begin the second half, and that's going to wrap up our halftime report. And let's hand it back to Gary Ball for the second half.
Well, we're just about set for the second half, and
had a whole lot of info in that halftime there.
What's that?
Had a whole lot of info that we had to get out to our viewers out there, Gary, because both teams, I think, in that first half started getting what they wanted to do in their game plan. Lafayette in the first quarter had Catholic going up and down, playing kind of helter-skelter, out of control.
Yep.
About 2 minutes into the second quarter, Catholic has started to establish some type of tempo that they want. Yeah. But I still think Coach Scott True would want to punch the break a little bit more.
Lafayette won the first quarter 14-4. Catholic won the second quarter 10-9.
Yeah.
So they won the second quarter, so that's a good sign for them.
And the other thing is, too, I was talking about how Bennett, watch this first trip with Lafayette with the basketball. They're going the box and one. Actually, diamond. Actually, looks like triangle and two now. They're going to chase Bennett and the Bills on.
Yep, exactly right. As we start the second half.
So it's triangle and two now.
Terry Abram has it, kicks it over now to Bennett. Bennett penetrates, gives it back to Gar Carter. Had those big 11 points with the Bills in, and now they go back over to Abram. She dumps it to Gar Carter off Glasnow, and backside rebound. Good job there by Lafayette Segoff. Shot won't go, and into the hands it comes of Catholic. So Catholic's got it, given their good rebound.
Yeah. Going triangle and two is interesting because they're going to chase the Bills on, and Bennett. Here's
steal. Gar Carter, left hand lays it in.
Well, she almost shot it too hard.
Yep, she's got 13 now.
That's interesting. I thought they would choose maybe Gar Carter and Bennett to chase, but they're chasing the two wings for Lafayette.
Olivia Haynes gives it back to Ballard. Ballard hit that 1-3 there in the first half, but here comes another steal. That's what Lafayette does so well. Lead it out, laid up and in by Gar Carter. We may get a timeout by True, and we do. Coach True calls a timeout.
Another 30 seconds.
2 quick buckets here by Gar Carter of Lafayette, and they lead 27-14 now.
Well, a while ago, when they went to triangle and two, I was saying Bennett, if she was going to be chased out of the box and one, there were 2 ways they could go. They could make her run the point and set some on-ball screens to get her maybe some open shots off the curl, off the screen. Or they could set her on the baseline and set staggered screens on the baseline and run it from one baseline side corner to the other. But when they came out triangle and two, that leaves Abram now unguarded because now the point, which I think is given on that head of that zone, it might be Ballard, I think, actually. It's Ballard, I think, is playing the point of the triangle if they go back to the triangle look here. But she's back inside the painted area or the lane area right below the foul line. They are daring Abram to shoot from 17, 18 feet.
Ballard's got the inbound pass from Malo Given. Back to Freebus. Got to get her. She quickly crosses the line. High dribble there. Hands it to Olivia Haynes. She goes baseline. Haynes cut off, throws it up. No, and battle for it. And Freebus there battling. And we're going to have a foul called against Lexington Catholic, it looks
Freebus,
like.
Yep. Going to get her on the hold. Yep. I thought maybe she had ball, but the outside official saw it differently.
So they called that on Ashley Freebus. That's 2 on her.
Yep. But, you know, and Haynes has to understand she's only 5'2". That's tough to go in there with the trees, unless you got a vertical like the guy I've been talking about from Georgetown.
That's right.
And I know I don't. So
no, I don't either. Carter. It's pretty close, though.
You can slide a piece of paper underneath mine.
There's Bennett's 3 good. Caroline Bennett, second 3 for Bennett, and that's 8 points for her now. And
she has a smooth-looking jump shot.
She does, doesn't she?
Man.
30-14. Wick catches the sideline, cut off and travel there. Good defense by Goff, causes the turnover.
Boy, you know, both these teams, you can see some good things coming out of Catholic for the next year or two.
Yep.
With this young roster.
7-0 run here to start the second half. That's not what Coach True wanted, down by 9 at halftime. Guard Carter. There's a free throw line jumper. Won't go there for Wilson. Here comes Olivia Haynes. Ballard, as coming out to get her will be Terry Abram. Ballard. Here's Givens' three-pointer off the rim, no. And Freebus battling for it, and they're going to give it to Lex Cath. Good hustle there by Freebus as she battled Lindy DeBilzon.
That was one of those that both young ladies looked like got simultaneous hands on it.
Yeah.
So it would have been Catholic's ball anyway on the held ball situation.
Givens set to trigger.
Looks like Lafayette's in man-to-man. I'm going to have to ask Coach Denton. I hadn't been
Given off glass.
Been a few years since I've seen your team play man-to-man. What got into you tonight, huh?
30-16. That breaks that 7-0 run by Lafayette to start the second half. 5:14 in the third coming up at 8 o'clock.
Now it looks like we're back to the box and one.
It will be Dunbar boys and LCA boys, 2 of the best teams in the state of Kentucky.
Boy, they ran her off those staggered screens like I told you.
Bennett's 3 rattles in. She's fouled by Olivia Haynes, and this will be an attempt for a 4-point play as Bennett now has 11.
Let's
take a look at that again.
See the double screens there on the baseline, the staggered screens. Bennett with the now this.
There was no foul though.
Well, that's it's almost after the shot to where it could have been Lafayette ball with
but
the
I'm
three.
Talking about when she shot. There was no contact.
No contact there. It was after the shot. I thought on the block out. And to me, as a coach, that's a great block out by my player.
34-16. Bennett.
Bad place to pick your dribble up there.
Haynes. Boy, I tell you, if Olivia Haynes, if everybody played as hard as her, though, that girl plays hard now.
How many undersized players have we seen in high school sports in general? If you could put their effort into a bigger body.
Haynes on cue. That's her first basket. She knocks down a big 3, makes it 34-19. That's a big 3 there.
You put their ticker in a bigger body.
I know it.
Oh man, how mercy! What kind of athlete could you have?
I know it. That girl hustles now.
Mm-hmm. You can't replace effort. You can replace athleticism, but you can't replace effort.
Out top, they swing, and there's an elbow. And that's going to be called every time. And I'm not sure why the high five there was.
That wasn't a high five. That was the player wanting a high five, and that's Coach Denton saying,
No,
I'm not shaking your hand.
Yeah, don't elbow.
That was a bonehead play.
She definitely flung her elbows that time. Yep. She picks up her second foul.
At the college level, that would be a flagrant 1.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It would be. There's Ballard. Boy, if she could get on track, she's down the paint area, knocked away there. She probably should have pulled up and shot that 10-footer.
Yeah. That's the other thing, too, that young players, they get ingrained in their heads much. Here, coaches say, take it to the basket, take it to the basket. Well, you got to understand, you got help side coming in certain times. You're going to have to maybe pull up and shoot a floater or that pull up from 8 to 10 feet.
Abram closing on that passing lane in a hurry and swatted that one out of bounds there. And I tell you, that's the thing about the Lafayette players. They are so quick on defense.
Doesn't Abram run on their track team, I think, at Lafayette? I think so. And I think I remember hearing her name at least with the 4x100.
Yep.
And I can see why. Coach Shaw might want to suit her up on the football field too, huh? With that closing speed?
With that quickness.
Yeah, buddy.
Ballard in trouble. She thought she had a player,
Yeah. Floor wasn't balanced for Catholic. They had totally flooded that far side of the floor. They're right. And she looked to swing the ball over here to the near side, and there wasn't a blue jersey over here at all.
We have 3:48 in the third. Gary Ball, Darren Douglas, William Moorfield, Jack Haynes producing here at the 43rd District Girls Basketball Tournament, where Tage Creek won on a buzzer beater last night by Nave Wynn. 35-30. There was a high bounce dribble there by DeBilzon not called. And also last night in Boys action, big win by Lafayette. They won going away over Tate's Creek. And then tonight, 8 o'clock, you won't want to miss this one, folks. This might be one of the best tournament games you'll see all year, barring any level.
Yep.
And that shot in front of the iron, no. Rebounded, spun around Bennett, left hand, no. Battle for it again, and it's going to be a jump ball call. Possession arrow will give it. Talking about the Dunbar LCA boys game, could be the best game you might see of any tournament, Sweet 16, regional, or anything, because it's two evenly matched ball clubs.
Although, I'll beg to differ with you here, Gary. 11th region tournament, there will be some really good games over there.
There always are.
Yeah. And this one will be for the district week of
whoever loses that game tonight, they're going home.
They're going home.
And it's two top 20 teams.
Yep.
Off the leg of Ballard over and back. Boy, this is sloppy right there for the Lady Knights.
Yeah, unforced turnover. And you know what? That will drive coaches crazy. He can handle the effort if you make a mistake. But that one just getting in too much of a rush and taking your eye off the pass, that's what drives coaches crazy and makes them lose their hair.
Carter makes it look easy. She now has 17 points to lead everybody.
Who's the last smooth girls basketball player you saw at Lafayette that can make that same move from that post play?
D. Givens.
Thank you.
Carter, though, she's single-handedly, she's only 2 points below Catholic's entire team output. She's got 17. Catholic has 19. It's 36-19. That's a foul in backcourt, by the way. The third foul called on DeBille's hand.
Well, again, when you got a player in trouble there, you don't want to reach in. Like right now.
Here comes Ballard trying to make something happen.
Good job moving her feet back off
Ballard
there.
in trouble. Ballard now double team and kicks it way out to her teammate Nash. 2:16 to play here in the third, and Lafayette in command by 17, 36-19.
Good play by Ballard, too, not to panic and chin the ball. Did you see how she had the ball chinned up to her chest with her elbows out to protect it?
Nash dribbles out of it after now hands it to Katie Witt.
I'm looking at this Lafayette defense. I'm wondering if it's that old amoeba defense that Dale Brown used to
shot put up and in by Gibbon.
That's what it looks like more than man-to-man.
Yep. Minute 40 in the third, and Gibbon just cut into the Lafayette lead, 36-21. Lady Generals on top here at the girls' 43rd District Basketball Tournament at Lexington Catholic. Handoff to Bilzen. High off glass, put it in. Boy, that's a tough shot there by Lindsay DeBilzen.
And she went with her offhand, I believe, too. The left hand.
Left hand. 10 points a game, and
good fundamental play from DeBilzen there. Man.
Ball knocked away, stolen by Caroline Bennett, and she's going to be fouled as she takes it to the basket, and that foul's going to go on sophomore Katie Nash.
Well, Bennett is just strong. She took that ball away from the Catholic player and then split two players on the dribble.
She's got her average, speaking of Bennett, Caroline Bennett. She's got a dozen. But Takia Gar-Carter, what a ball game. She's
29 of the 38 between Bennett and Gar-Carter.
Exactly. Three-pointer off the mark by Bennett. Pulled out of there by Freebus. Ball knocked away for a moment. Picked up by Ballard. I tell you, Ballard had those 5 points in the first half. We've got 55 seconds in the third. She's yet to score here in the third. She's too good to go a quarter without scoring, Darren, is the point I'm making. I'm complimenting the young lady. She's too good of a scorer, averaging nearly 16 points a game.
Well, right now, she's caught the ball in a couple spots to look to score. Nice post up.
Freebus and block, and Bennett says, where's the foul? And official said, you got her, so that'll be 2 free throws. Coming for Lexington Catholic at the line will be Ashley Freebus. Freebus, a junior. As Darren Douglas said, pretty much everybody back for both these ball clubs with the exception of Kiara Pankins, who's out with the concussion protocol. She's not even playing tonight. The All-State player. Don't miss there by Freebus.
So, I mean, this 11th region, Gary, for the next couple of years, you and I are going to enjoy covering girls' action.
Strong. Well, you know, we're one of the few outlets. I mean they come in, they do the boys' game, they leave. We like to give the girls a lot of love, too.
Well, we've seen some really good girls teams come through this 11th region since we've been doing this.
The games tomorrow night. Darren will be calling for me tomorrow night. I've got TV work tomorrow night on the Scholastic Ball
Great
Report.
block out by both Lafayette players. Wow.
Pankins nearly knocked. Those are 2 8th graders right there, and Pankins knocked their teammate down.
Yeah, but Grants and Pankins both had their assigned players blocked out so they couldn't get to the basketball.
Down low to Pankins, turns, throws it up. No, Gar-Carter, yes.
if you ask Elise, that was a pass. Any good basketball player? No, that wasn't a shot. I meant to throw that pass.
That's 19 for Gar Carter, Darren Douglas. Yep. Ball tipped away again.
Nice hands.
That's those great hands knocked away. You know the young lady knocked that ball away. She's an 8th grader.
Yep. I mean, look here. We got 3 8th graders on the roster for Lafayette. You have a couple of 8th graders on the roster for Catholic.
Abram, it's nonchalant. Now Abram picks it up, throws it up, and that's going to be short. We head to the final quarter, and Lafayette looking solid, like they're going to advance to the 43rd District Final on Friday night at 6:15 to take on the winner tomorrow night of the Tates Creek Dunbar girls game. We'll be back here on PrepSpin.com, 40-21, as we head to the final quarter here on PrepSpin with Darren Douglas, Gary Ball, and we'll be back here with the fourth quarter action after this.
I used my credit cards over the holidays, and I thought I could make it work. But between the bills and everything else, I'm really starting to fall behind.
A lot of people out there are drowning in debt.
We're Atkinson, Sims & Kermode. You can have a brighter future away from debt.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Say no to debt. Get your bankruptcy started for as little as $78 today. In Lexington and now in London.
Gary Ball, Darren Douglas back for the final quarter, and it's all Lafayette all the time, Darren. And I tell you what, Gar Carter, that's Pankins, and rolls off. Stuck back up and in on the left side by Macy Goff, and that won't go, but she'll go to the line, and 7:51 to play. Let's look at my game's top scorers. Caroline Bennett, she has a dozen for Lafayette, but Takia Gar Carter, she's the story, Darren. 11 in the first half at halftime, and already has 8 points here, 19 points as Goff knocks down the free throw.
Yeah, Gary, we got halftime score from over at Bryan Station, the 42nd District getting underway. Halftime of the girls' game, Scott County 33, Sayre 21. And that's a Sayre girls team that's actually really got a nice ball club.
Who's the boys' game there tonight, do you know?
I think it's Henry Clay and Sayre, I think.
Gotcha. Well, Sayre's boys team.
No, I'm sorry. Sayre plays Scott County, unfortunately, the boys do. And they're 21-5? Sayre.
Yeah, Scott County's 25-5, and one poll had them number 1 in the state. I think the Cantrell, the Herald Leader rankings, AP had them number 3 or 4.
I'll check that, boys.
Still, the AP's still in love with that Fern Creek ball club in Louisville.
They're a good ball club. I asked our good buddy Champ Ligon, who's the girls coach at Mail, and he said that Fern Creek boys team's for real.
Yeah, I saw him last year.
He said, but if you get them in a half-court game and play some defense, they don't have a whole lot of guys that can shoot it from outside.
Here's a three-pointer knocked down by Given.
Nice ball movement that time from Catholic to get the open look.
You know, Given has showed up. She's got 11 points the other way, and Gar Carter's going to be called for traveling. Talking about Melo Given of Catholic, she's got 7 here. Look at that nice shot out of the corner there.
Again, good ball movement, though, and I believe that was that Freebus from the high post that turned and found her? I believe that was. Good look, and again, you know, Catholic they just need something. They need to see the ball go through the rim.
Ballard, and she's going to be fouled by Gar Carter, and she doesn't like to call.
Do you know how much? And you might have heard.
Allie. I think everybody heard Allie.
Yeah. Hollering Gar Carter said, "Quit complaining, just play ball."
And another three. Ballard knocks it down.
Now they got it back down to 14,
so
Gary.
Catholic trying to make a little mini run here in the fourth quarter. 6:40 to play, 41-27.
Little pressure from the Knights this time, 2-2-1.
Lindy DeBilzan skips it out to Abram. Bennett open for a moment, moves in on Ballard, 10-footer, knocks it down. That's
Good job from Ballard closing on Bennett. Unfortunately, she went for the head fake, and Bennett was able to put it on the floor and get an open look.
Caroline now with 14 points, Darren Douglas.
That's a big-time college move that Bennett did there. That's a lost art in the game of basketball, boys and girls both.
There's another good look at that ball movement. That three-pointer by Ballard.
Of course, Ballard has looked at a couple shots right here. The head fake goes around, pulls up. And you don't see that much.
Right.
Even in the boys' game, you don't see the head fake on a shot attempt or a head fake and throw the ball underneath on traps.
I want to thank Bob Roberts Insurance over in Richmond, Kentucky. Bob Roberts, Joe and John Roberts, they insure most of the state of Kentucky. They've been in business for 40 years. Bob Roberts Insurance, just check them out, BobRobertsINS.com. Bob Roberts, proud sponsor of District and 11th Region basketball here on PrepSpin. Also the Scholastic Ball Report. It'll be on this Sunday at 2 o'clock.
Oh, some guy we know is host of that show. I have no idea.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out. But it's usually Saturday or Sunday. This week we're going to be on Sunday at 2 o'clock after ACC basketball on Saturday this week.
Hey, we don't care about ACC basketball in this area.
I don't.
It's in this area that's SEC country.
So that'll be Sunday at 2. Our team of the week, the Franklin County Lady Flyers and Coach Thacker.
Boy, they are
25
solid
and 5.
again.
Yep, 25-5, top 10 team in the state. A lot of people think they can make another deep run if they get to the Sweet 16.
And they've had 2 losses in the state of Kentucky.
43-27 here. That was we didn't talk much about that travel down here. Catholic could have cut into that lead, but they had the turnover.
Yeah, that was a nice double team from Lafayette that time.
The Bilzan plays catch with Terry Abram. Now they go to Goff, back over to DeBilzan. She's looking.
Yeah, Lafayette, just be patient.
Yeah, they're going to run some clock here with a 16-point lead and 5:47 to play. They'll move. Looks like Lafayette's going to move on to the district championship Friday night. Probably a lot of people feel like they're going to take on Dunbar in that game, but Dunbar's got to just take care of business tomorrow night against Tate's Creek first.
Well, Tate's Creek played last night like a team that had absolutely nothing to lose.
Right. Pass down low, knocked away. There's Freebus on the floor. And a jump ball called in the possession area, I believe, favoring the blue and white Lady Knights.
Yeah, a whole lot of contact in the lane there on the lob with the help side defense coming over. And you can tell when it gets from the regular season to the postseason, they let them get a little more physical. They won't let it get out of hand, but they'll let them play inside that lane area.
Catholic won 12 games this year with a lot of injuries. That's a pretty good job by Scott True. Lafayette 20 wins again this year. They just keep rolling over there at Lafayette, don't they?
They've got a really good athletic program over there right now too. You know, and really the football team under Eric Shaw is just absolutely ridiculous.
Taking it to another level. I mean, it took a nationally ranked Trinity team and that was a 27-21 ball game. I did that game for the Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl, the Cages AA. That was a 27-21 football game, and then Walker Wood went down with a leg injury, and that game turned at that point.
It's amazing when you have an athlete, the capability of Wood.
Yeah.
When he goes down, now granted he's the quarterback, but you know how it affects you. It's kind of like the point guard on any basketball team.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to have a really solid backup.
You know, Dominic Hawkins is that example right now. The job he's doing at point guard backing up the Aaron Fox.
Of course, we're not surprised because we've seen him play.
We saw him in high school. We love that kid.
We knew him as a freshman in high school, how good he was going to be.
Lafayette really milking the clock right now, 4:27.
Nice look.
Goff over to Bennett. She'll launch it and knock it down.
Has she missed a 3 tonight?
She has made 4.
Is she 4 of 4?
4. Well, you've got to. I didn't see the halftime stat. What was she at halftime? She's knocked down 3 here in the second half. And here's a steal by Lindy DeBilzan.
She was 1 of 1 from behind the arc in the first half.
Well, she's hit 3 in the second half.
Wow. Young lady can shoot it. Got another look. Oh.
She's got 17 points. Gar Carter leads everybody with 19, Darren. 3:50 to play. And Lafayette is going to advance. They lead by 19. They've got the ball. And
Good
down low
post.
they go to Goff, throws it up, and she draws the foul. Catholic's Witt hit the floor hard, but
that's
going to have a foul
Witt
called.
By my count. Good patience from Lafayette against the zone here the last couple of trips. And for you young folks, too, Bennett made one mistake on this possession here. She had a look, but she wasn't ready to shoot it. Get in triple tap position. As the ball comes around, swung back around to your side, you're ready to catch and shoot.
Farrah Weldon comes in, and going out will be Ashley Freebus for Lex Cath. 3:44 to play. Second free throw coming from Macy Goff, the sophomore. 3 points for her in the ball game. Missed that one, missed both free throw attempts. Still hung at 3 points. 46-27. Lafayette leading here in the girls' 43rd District Basketball Tournament. Coming up at 8 o'clock. You won't want to miss this one. Dunbar, defending state champ. There's a travel there by Haynes.
Good call.
Defending state champs of Paul Arns Dunbar will take on a very, very talented Lexington Christian team at 8 o'clock right here on PrepSpin. Looking forward to that one. Mike Fannin is going to join me for the call that one with Darren Douglas on the sidelines and Jack Haynes and William Warfield.
That'll be interesting because Dunbar's confidence level's got to be rocked a little bit on that senior night loss that they took at home.
Bennett's going to be fouled, and I think Olivia Haynes, and that's 4 on Haynes, by the way.
Yeah,
and you're exactly right what you said, too, earlier about the 4 fouls on Witt. That was her 4th.
They're leaving Witten in the ballgame, and Haynes is coming out.
16 fouls now against Catholic, 4 against Lafayette, 3:17 to play.
2-3 zone again.
Lafayette once again will be playing in the girls' 43rd District Championship. How many years in
5
a row
years
now? 5 in a row, yeah.
Something like that.
I think you're right. Shot put up and in, nice lob to Goff.
Nice seal on the block there by Goff, and then the pass from Bennett, which doesn't get a lot of credit other than the assist, to the hand that was the target hand away from the defense.
She dropped the dime, didn't she? That's what they call it now. Kids like to call it dropping the dime. Wide open down low.
Wow.
Turning around, Witt, wide open, missed the layup. Boy, she was
Took
too
a bad
open.
angle.
Yeah, bad angle. She was too open. Quickly the other way. Bennett fires off glass, no, and she'll go to the line, as she's fouled. Caroline Bennett.
Yeah. She turned around and looked like, I can't believe I missed that layup.
Bennett has been ridiculous from behind the arc. I've got her 4 for 4 in my shoot. She may have missed 1, but nevertheless, she's hit 4.
Had her 1 of 1 in the first half here for us.
3 here in the second half. Yeah, free throw won't go there for her.
She's too close. Move back a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. She can hit it from 20,
too close.
but
Move back.
15 is 4 feet too close for her. 5 maybe. 2:40 here in the game. Lafayette's going to advance, and second free throw connected by Bennett. She now has 18. Gar Carter leads everybody with 19 of Lafayette. 49-27. Catholic. Well, you mentioned in the pregame Jazuski? The young girl.
Jazuski, I believe.
Jazuski, 12 rebounds a game. Boy, you miss her in that lineup.
Yeah, you do. And, of course, you look at Lafayette. They missed Pankins with 10.5, but they've really done a nice job, has the Lady Generals tonight here.
Three-pointer and knocked down again by Given, who's played really well. Melo Given has played really well tonight. Yeah. That is 10 for her in the half, Darren Douglas, and 14 overall. Yep. She came in only averaging 7.5 points a game.
Yeah, well, of course, when you got players like this out, you have to be able to have players step up and things, and, you know.
We'll be back here on PrepSpin. Thanks to Sutherland Chevrolet over at Nicholasville.
Take a little walk with me. I'll keep you in good company and be there for you to the end. You'll never be alone, my friend.
Welcome back, 49-29, 20-point lead for Lafayette. Coming up, Dunbar and Lexington Christian Academy here at the 43rd District Basketball Tournament.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, Gary, you and I have been around high school basketball a long time, and it's tough to watch these crowds. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, it's just girls basketball. Let me tell you something. We got some really, really talented college programs in the state, from UK, U of L on down to the NAIA level.
Yeah.
We have 4 teams in Kentucky ranked in the women's NAIA Division I poll.
And that shot by Bennett won't go, and coming out of there with it is Given. Weldon. Three-pointer knocked down again by Given. That's 17 for Melo Given now.
Shooting real well is Given.
49-32. Minute 37 to go here. Kick it in the corner to Bennett. To the Bills end, and whistle foul call. Minute 31. I'm not sure, and I'm sure Coach True's saying the same thing. We're down by 17. Why are we fouling?
Well, two schools of thought. Lafayette has
Slow
not
the
shot.
pace down.
They have not shot the free throws very well now. I think they're like 6 of 10 or 6 of 12, something like that. They've not shot the ball well from the free throw line. So you're thinking maybe, just maybe, I can get myself back into the ball game But with a minute and a half to go, it's really and you're running low on timeouts too. So that's going to make it very tough.
Lafayette at the line, and Elise Pankins, the 5'8" 8th grader,
didn't use her legs.
Missed that one badly.
You know, if you want to see how free throws are shot, use your legs. That's and when you get to the fourth quarter of games, this is where your endurance level's not as high. You're getting fatigued. It may be a tough play game. Your legs are so vital important to your free throw shooting and your jump shooting.
49-32, and a couple of things. Bennett with a big second half. She has 13 points in the second half. Caroline Bennett of Lafayette to give her 18 overall. Gar Carter had the big first half with 11. She's got 19 overall. And Malo Given has really stepped up. She's got 13 points in this half for Lex Cav.
Final from that girls game over in the 42nd. Scott County 86-53 winners over Sayre.
What was the final?
86-53.
Wow.
Scott County playing well. That was one of the losses that Franklin County has taken on this year. They only lost twice in the state. Once was to Scott County, the other one to Mercer County.
Ballard's three won't go, and a good look out of the left side, and True thought that was down on a pass from Weldon.
Well, we had a good look at it. I thought it was down.
Yeah. Another foul called here that's really slowing the pace down here with a minute 11 to go, 49-32.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that boys game out that's going to be taking place tonight. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it might be Scott County Sayre boys. I think, maybe. I'm sorry, Scott County Bryan Station boys.
You know, the Bilsons played well defensively, but she's struggled tonight offensively.
Yeah, well, you know, this is a big ball game for her. This is probably her first experience really as a full-time player in the district tournament.
Ballard just can't get it going tonight as she missed another open three. 52 seconds.
Gets you in your head when you don't play very well.
Lafayette's going to advance to take on the winner Dunbar Creek
nice
Friday
pass.
night. Pass down low. Pankins can't get it to go. Their battling is Goff, and she can't stick it back up. And they have 42 seconds. We'll have a break. The boys' game is scheduled for 8 o'clock. And it's right now it's 7:30, Darren. So depending on how quick we get through these 42 seconds here, 49-32, Lafayette on top. 50-32 as Macy Goff is able to knock down the free throw.
And if Dunbar's girls tomorrow night can get through that very game and feisty Tates Creek team, Lafayette and Dunbar, didn't they split during the regular season? Each one on each other's home floor, if I'm not mistaken.
36 seconds, and there's Weldon. That's an air ball with 31. Set ball diving on the floor. Still great effort by Catholic and trying to pass it over, but picked off by Goff, and Catholic gets it back to get it out to Ballard. She launches and knocks down the three. That's now 11 for Ballard, who averages almost 16, 51-35. Lafayette's going to win their 21st ball game. There's, like I said, with 10 seconds, you're down 16. Why do you foul?
Well, again, the coach has probably told them, hey, we need to get them to the foul line. They're not shooting real well, and you've got it ingrained in your players' heads. That should be the call from the coach. Now, I look down at Coach True, and he's putting in 4 young ladies to get them in the ball game. Boy, the Bilzon is really struggling tonight.
She is. We mentioned that, but she's played very well defensively.
Yeah. Well, I think Lafayette's done a nice job of, I talked about how Catholic was changing defenses. Lafayette changed their style of 2-3 zone they were playing. They were doing an amoeba type look, which means they were just basically giving man-to-man principles, not a matchup, but they were kind of following certain players around. And then they did the matchup, and then they did a straight 2-3. So,
well, the Bilson got that one to go. She averages 10.5 points a game, the sophomore, and I show her with just 3 points tonight. 52-35. 10 seconds.
Coach
We're going to get
substitutions.
Yeah. We're going to get Tiana Sanford in. Also, Sarah Hall. Grants is in there, along with Pankins and
Wilmore.
Who? Yeah, we got
Lazio,
Wilmore, Lazio. And that three-pointer won't go, and it's over. Lafayette advances 52-35 over Lexington Catholic. And Darren, a game that Lafayette jumped out 14-4, never looked back really with their pressure defense.
Yeah, there was a couple of times that Catholic had the basketball with a chance to get it under closer than the 9 points it was at halftime, just either a turnover or a missed shot, and Lafayette was able to extend the lead and basically cruise into the championship game on Friday night. And they await the winner of tomorrow night's game between Tates Creek and Dunbar. Everybody thinks it'll be a Lafayette-Dunbar championship on Friday night at the girls' side. Don't count Tates Creek out, though. Right. That is a feisty group. We saw them scrap and claw and hustle themselves to that win.
52-35. Lafayette advances. Coming up in about 20-25 minutes, it'll be the game between LCA boys and Dunbar boys here at the 43rd. For Darren Douglas, for William Warfield, Jack Haynes, this is Gary Ball. We'll have a little bit of intermission, be back with Dunbar and LCA boys here on PrepSpin.com, the White Greer Maggard Game of the Week.